education meeting for November 24th, 2025. We will have a moment of silence followed by the presentation of the colors, which will be done by Bunker Hills Air Force JRO. Mr. Major Ron Jones and Chief Master Jeffrey Kellaway. So please rise.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and have a seat. Good evening. I'm Major Ron Jones from Bunker Hill, the senior instructor for our Air Force JROTC. These are my proud cadets. We restarted the program a couple years ago, and we have a very junior group, and it's quite amazing. The first one there on the far left is Nicholas Bates. He is a sophomore, followed by Emily Foster, who is one of only two seniors who have been with the program for the last 3 years. Then we have Savannah Merrick, also a sophomore, and we have John Cook, who's also a sophomore, and we have Amelia Simmons, who is a freshman. So we don't normally have a lot of freshmen. I would say of all the color guards that you will see pass through here, we are probably the most junior. So we have plenty of room to grow, and we're going to be growing quite a bit over the next couple years. So, but I can't just leave it at this. I need to also point out that for the first time in 5 years, I think, maybe 4, we have a second instructor. So Chief Jeffrey Kellaway is now joining us. And that makes a huge difference in our program because our program is all about leadership. These students get an opportunity to peer lead and do things that no other student gets to do. So if you talk to them, they will tell you some amazing things about what we do. And I think you'll be just as proud as I am. So thank you for that time.
Next on the agenda is approval of minutes for October 16th, 2025 for the special called meeting. If we want to go ahead and approve those.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Hearing a motion for the October 16th, 2025 meetings. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Right, that's unanimous for October 16th, 2025. For the October 27th, 2025 minutes, we do need to add for digital subsection under purposes for closed session and regular minutes for October 27th. Page 12, to protect confidential student and/or personnel information will be need to be. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes with the additions added?
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion with the additions added for the minutes on October the 27th, 2025.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Okay, that was for the regular meeting on October 27th. We also need to approve the minutes from the work session for October 27th, 2025 as well. Chance to go over those. If I hear a motion, we will approval of that.
Make a motion, we approve the October 27th work session minutes.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you. Next up is adjustment approval of the agenda. Dr. Stover?
Chairman Sedlmeyer, we don't have any adjustments for this evening.
Okay. I need a motion for the approval of the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Motion for the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous. Next up is Chairman's report. This week's Thanksgiving. Just remember, think about what you're thankful for. Family and friends, your salvation, whatever that might look like. I know when families come together, sometimes there can be some friction. Just remember what the season's for. Forgiveness and grace. Thank you, that's all. Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report, presented by Dr. Matt Stover.
Thank you. If the board would meet me out front, we've got our employees of the month to recognize. As always, we want to thank Mr. Chris Geddes and our Homes for Heroes sponsorship. Thankful for them. Again, what a great month. Incredible employees. So let's start with our Administrator of the Month, Dr. Ryan McCreary, who is our Director of Secondary Education and Fine Arts, former principal of Clyde Campbell Elementary. He's just done such a great job since he come to the central office. Tough transition, but we love how you are able to talk with adults, students, parents in the community. Keep up the great work. Appreciate you, Ryan. Yeah, he's doing fun. Participate. Next on the list is our teacher, Certified Employee of the Month. This teacher has been at Lyle Creek since the opening and been in Catawba County Schools nearly 30 years. Third grade teacher, and we all know how difficult that can be. And every year, she lives in the blue, is what we say, which is absolutely incredible for growth. But most importantly, she loves her students and they love her. And this month is Mrs. Amy Miller. And just hot off the press from this morning, always great to go to St. Stephen's High School. And this morning we got to be with Mr. Mark Hallman, who is our head custodian. And I dare say that St. Stephen's is our largest school with the most square footage and is absolutely spick and span every single day because of this man, his leadership and his other custodians and the whole school. Let's give it up for Mr. Mark Hallman.
Keep the three of you in the middle. Pick the gap. Good. Everybody up here, we can count down three. Go cameras. Sorry.
That's it. Yeah, sorry.
Next on the agenda is public comment, and that will be led by Mr. Clayton Mullis.
The Catawba County Board of Education appreciates and welcomes all public comments. Members of the public who have signed up to speak may address board members on any topic of concern during public comment section of a regular meeting. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address the Catawba County Board of Education members. A time clock will be displayed to assist each speaker with their 3-minute time limit. Speakers should direct their comments to board members rather than to the audience. Comments by members of the public should be respectful without slander toward any other member of the public, community members of, or any member of the Catawba County Board of Education. Any displays of approval or disapproval are out of order unless otherwise directed by the board chair. Our first speaker is Lynn Dorfman.
My name is Lynn Dorfman. My statement is excerpted from a letter I wrote to the Hickory Daily Record in late August. It was devastating to learn of Dr. Leslie Barnett's death on August 26. Dr. Barnett was one of those magical people who touched and improved lives. In August, when the indivisible citizens of Catawba Valley delivered donated teacher supplies to 5 area schools, we told administrators the donation drive was in honor of Dr. Barnett. I heard many testimonials about Dr. Barnett's dedication to staff and students. The recurring theme from educators, she always had your back. It is no accident that the school system, thanks to educators like Dr. Barnett, was ranked as the best in the state by teachers on the 2024 Working Conditions Survey. Over her 4 decades as an educator, Dr. Barnett served in many roles as teacher and as administrator. When she resigned in August, Dr. Barnett was the only educator serving on the Board of Education. The only educator. Yet it makes sense that a knowledge of educational principles and practices would help when making decisions about curriculum, assessing information provided by senior staff, allocating finite resources, creating policies, and more. The current board includes members who appear to care more about ideology than pedagogy. Now, there's no requirement that board members be educators, but imagine overseeing a field that you only know about from being an advocate for only your child to being responsible for the welfare of thousands of children. It's like being on the board of directors for American Airlines. Your only experience is having been a passenger. What do you know about finance, balance sheets, pilot training, and FAA regulations? I pray the members of this school board respect the educational perspective and insight that Dr. Barnett brought to every discussion and every policy decision, and that in selecting someone who you will announce tonight, you chose wisely. Dr. Barnett left big shoes to fill. Many thanks again for Dr. Barnett's service to our schools and county, and for always having the back of educators.
Thank you, Ms. Dorfman, and thank you for your group's donation in honor of Dr. Barnett to our schools.
Next speaker is Kimberly Turk.
Good evening. I appreciate that employees were given an opportunity to review the proposed employee use of social media policy. There are a few portions of the policy that concern me. Part C says employees are responsible for the content on their social media sites, including content added by the employee's friends, or members of the public who can access the employee's site, and for web links on the employee site. This means I would be responsible for items others tag me in. I've asked my dad multiple times to stop tagging me in posts about old women with too many cats, but he refuses to stop. I should not be held responsible for his actions if one of his posts is found to be objectionable. This is an unreasonable standard. I have also seen multiple people get hacked and end up with links posted on their social media sites that lead to scams or objectionable material. They should not be held at fault. Part D9 says employees shall not use internet postings to libel or defame the board, individual board members, students, or other school employees. Libel is already not legal. It has been my experience that when a rule is made about something that is already not allowed, the rule is intended as intimidation. This feels like an attempt to stop school employees from voicing their opinions. Part D6 says employees shall not use profane, pornographic, obscene, indecent, lewd, vulgar, or sexually offensive language, pictures, or graphics, or other communication that could reasonably be anticipated to cause a substantial disruption to the school environment. I am really good about not cussing at school, and there are days where that takes real effort. But the school board does not have a right to forbid me from cussing when I am not at school. Although I choose not to use the language described in this portion of the policy when I post online, I disagree with being told I could lose my job if I choose to do so. After years of being in these school board meetings, I have also discovered that one person's definition of lewd, vulgar, and offensive can be very different from another person's definition. This language feels very broad to me. Part D11 says employees shall not post content that negatively impacts their ability to perform their jobs, which again feels very broad and could be used as an all-encompassing trap. I do hope establishing a policy will eliminate the desire to tell employees during new hire sessions that posting a picture of themselves holding a glass of wine could result in being terminated. You're hiring people that have had pictures posted of themselves since before they were born. They cannot and should not have to erase their online history to work for Catawba County Schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Turk.
Next speaker is Lawrence Wiedemann.
Good evening. It would seem the board has chosen to sanction adding a pre-meeting Christian prayer to the school board meeting. I dissent. In case y'all haven't read the Constitution, the First Amendment is pretty clear that government establishment of any specific religion is prohibited. Now, you can weasel your way around the Constitution with technicality like it's not part of the meeting, or we haven't established or sanctioned the prayer. But those arguments are disingenuous end runs around the clear intent of the Constitution to separate church from state. They provide top cover for your intent to tack Christian prayer onto the board meetings. The facts of the matter are this building being open now, the sheriff's presence, the lights being on, are all government funded, and prayer is using those resources to impose a specific religious doctrine on people that may not desire it. Freedom of religion means freedom from religion. And even if it's not technically illegal or unconstitutional, it's still ethically wrong. Last month, Dr. Stover presented the I in Phoenix to represent inclusion. By allowing a specific creed prayer, you are sanctioning the exclusion of other beliefs. Matthew 7:12 teaches us about mutual respect. In case you missed last month's prayer, they talked about mutual respect. Would you want an inman to challenge your beliefs and preach to you the wisdom and holiness of Allah? I'm guessing not so much. Perhaps then you should not be challenging other people's belief by sanctioning the prayer aligned with your beliefs. Ethics does not sanction hypocrisy. Ethics means honoring the intent and the spirit of the law. Ethics is living up to your own purported moral standards and doctrines. Ethics matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wiederman.
Next speaker is Craig Meadows.
Craig Meadows, former teacher here. How can a person possibly detail a system of abuse, neglect, abandonment of duty, corruption, and cover up of such behavior by a school system's leaders in 3 minutes? You can't. But just a few of the actions I've witnessed that were allowed and concealed by leaders here. Abandonment, betrayal, and denial of injured workers and students. Workers' comp checks that sustain injured workers and their families mysteriously and repeatedly missing in the mail. A school leader who manipulated and confused me horribly as I suffered through the worst period of my brain injury struggle. My severely injured students' credibility being attacked by that same leader when he visited me. My injuries being minimized to hospital personnel by that leader as I lay in a hospital bed in pain with a brain injury and my student near me fighting for her life. Hospital emergency room packed with this system's leaders that I never heard from again. There to rally for Catawba County Schools, the institution, not the broken individuals. Teachers and school personnel who go missing and never reappear in the middle of sexual misconduct investigations, but sometimes reappear in another district. Teachers appearing in this district from other districts after similar concerns. A child's parent being denied information about the rape of his child on our school bus. Students being raped by other students in a school and that information being hidden from parent for weeks while their children continue to interact as usual. Parents of special education students being intentionally lied to about services being rendered while I'm expected to be a team player and participate in that deception. I did not. These are just a few of the things I have observed here. Other teachers have too, and I've listened to their resulting bewilderment. There is a flawed belief surrounding public schools that prosecution being declined after abuse is discovered absolves a school system of any responsibility for transparency. It does not. Some believe it prevents unjust humiliation for children had they elected to prosecute. It does allow abuse to potentially continue without consequence. Any resulting financial settlement does nothing to negate an administrative responsibility for transparency either. I don't know under what human authority truth will be revealed, but it will. Under my faithful and just Creator's authority for those who love Him more than this world and have been called according to His purpose. I know you will put me through hell for confronting your propensity to exploit the vulnerable and injured for your own selfish gain. While good people have watched in disbelief, asked the questions leaders here should have asked, and waited silently for competent leadership to emerge. This simply cannot continue. It will take courageous action by genuine and caring people to stop this. Our entire nation is currently devoid of true courage and compassion for the vulnerable.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows.
Last speaker is Mr. Matthew Fox. Sir.
Next on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda presented by Dr. Matt Stover.
Thank you, Chairman Sedmeyer, members of the board. We are looking to have these agenda items approved this evening.
Okay, I seek a motion for consent items 1 through 4.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion to approve the consent items on the agenda as presented.
Thank you. Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise of hand. Unanimous, thank you. Next on the agenda is new business, approval of 2025, 2026 school improvement plans for low-performing schools, presented by Mr. Lee Miller.
Thank you, Chairman Sedmeyer. Board members, I come tonight to ask for your approval of the school improvement plans of Murray Elementary, Oxford Elementary, St. Stephen's Elementary, Mill Creek Middle School, and River Bend Middle School. As you probably recall, these plans were presented to the board at the October work session. And according to state policy, we must then post those plans and allow for public input. We've done that, and we did not receive any public comment or input from those 5 school improvement plans. And so tonight I would seek your approval of those plans as presented in October.
Okay, I seek a motion for approval of the 2025, 2026 school improvement plans for low-performing schools that were presented to us in October by Mr. Lee Miller then.
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve that.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is approval of joinder to the educational affiliation agreement between Appalachian State University and Catawba Valley Medical Center by the Catawba County Board of Education, presented by Mr. Stephen Westmoreland.
Good evening, Chairman Sedmeyer, members of the board, Dr. Stover. So this joinder agreement would allow undergraduate students at Appalachian State University to obtain clinical hours on our campuses. Our athletic trainers are employees of our hospitals, and these students would be assigned to one of them, typically for a semester clinical. And I would also like to note these students will be supervised at all times by those athletic trainers, and their primary focus would be for observation purposes. To be honest, athletic trainers that field is getting harder and harder to hire in that position. So we're hopeful maybe creating this will be kind of a recruitment for athletic trainers down the road. So with that, I seek approval of the joinder to the educational affiliation agreement between Appalachian State University and Catawba Valley Medical Center.
Are these individuals also background checked and all that before?
Yes, sir. It's done by the college. They come to the hospital with a background check. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Federal and state.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yes.
I seek a motion for approval of the joinder to the educational affiliation agreement between Appalachian State University and Catawba Valley Medical Center by the Catawba County.
I make the motion.
Heard a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, shall raise their hand. That is unanimous. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is approval of request from Catawba County Schools Construction and Maintenance Department, presented by Mr. Dan Moore.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board, and Dr. Stover. The first item is for your information only. It is the General Contingency Allowance Summary for the PK classroom renovation project at Balls Creek Elementary. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have as we seek to close this project up today.
That is number A that's listed here.
Number 8 on the agenda.
Number A, alpha, under number 3.
Yes, it is Chairman Settlemeyer, 3A, under preschool classroom renovations.
Okay. No problem. All right, I seek a motion to approve the preschool classroom renovation project at Balls Creek Elementary School, enter a contingency allowance project.
Mr. Chairman, I just suggest we make a motion to approve.
For a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise their hand. Unanimous, thank you, sir.
Shall I do these change directives and change order together, or would you like for me to separate those
For
out?
train and, for the train service agreement update in Maiden Middle School, both those?
Yes, sir, but the construction change directives
Oh, okay, I see.
and the the change order.
Right.
So construction change directive number 4, specifically at Balls Creek Elementary School, is tied to the adding of wooden window sills. It's a deduct from the contingency in the amount of $2,355.37. Construction change directive number 5 is a lump sum decrease of the contract in the amount of $61,013.89 of the general contingency. And construction change order number 1 is the finalization of the project with that $61,013.89 remaining contingency for a final project amount of $323,525.11. And I would seek your approval for those items.
Okay, for the preschool classroom renovation project at Balls Creek Elementary School, I seek a motion for change directive number 4, change directive number 5, and change order number 1, correct?
Yes, sir.
Motion for those items.
I'll make a motion.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise the hand. Unanimous, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Would you like for me to group these train service agreements together, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. So our first one is a scheduled service agreement for the chillers located in Catawba County Schools. This is done annually. We've been doing this for quite some time. There's scheduled service that trained technicians will come out and perform on our chillers. And also, should we have a problem, they will show up. We sort of bump ahead in the line to take care of issues. It's in the amount of $44,800, and it is paid quarterly. The second item is a connected building service agreement. It's for automation systems in Catawba County Schools with regard to HVAC equipment. It also allows for trained technicians to come work on our building automation systems and help to maintain those throughout the district. This amount is $39,724. The next two items are upgrades to our building automation systems at two of our high schools, both through Train. Bandy's High School at $32,840, Maiden High School at $50,148. And I would seek your approval of those items, or would be happy to answer any questions you may have or direct those questions to Mr. Robert Hoyle, Director of Construction and Maintenance.
Hearing no questions, I seek a motion to approve the train service agreements and upgrades presented by Mr. Dan Moore for all the services that he mentioned.
I make a motion to approve the train upgrades.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise of hand. Sir?
Our last item is our Maiden Middle School HVAC project. The first sheet is our general contingency summary and the amount of general contingency that we have remaining. Then we have 4 construction change directives for this project. Number 9 is in the amount of $1,323.92. It involved removing a radiator out of the front office at the check-in station and plug those lines, removing ducts out of science rooms, removing exhausts from an exterior wall, and removing old electrical wire and conduit. Number 10 is an existing condition that was found in one of our corridor beams that the architect recommended that we would address that. It is in the amount of $1,926. The next is to provide a 2-pole breaker for the project. When it came time for that to actually be installed, what we had was not the right size. What was delivered, DDI provided that 2-pole breaker, so that would be an increase of $938. And last is a credit or a decrease in the amount of the contract due to some damage that was sustained to some padding in the gym at Maiden Middle School during the installation of the HVAC system. And I would seek your approval of those items or be happy to answer any questions you may have.
So I stopped by Maiden Middle today, just to kind of look around, and it looks really good over there. They've done, I think DDI done a great job of
Yes.
getting it done over there, and in the time crunch we gave them also.
We've been very pleased. They're going to do a walkthrough next week of punch list items, and we should be able to close that project out hopefully next month.
Pretty good to work with, or?
I think so, Robert. I mean, we've been very pleased with their timeliness and their responsiveness. It's been a good relationship.
Good, good.
Yes, sir.
Hearing no further questions, I seek approval for the HVAC project at Maiden Middle School. Structure change directives number 9, 10, 11, and 12, as presented by Mr. Dan Moore.
I make the motion to approve the HVAC project at Maiden Middle.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise of hand. Unanimous.
Thank you.
Sir? On the agenda is the approval of request from Catawba County Schools Technology Department. Tariff a quote for purchase of Chromebooks and Learning.com renewal invoice for digital subscriptions presented by Mr. Marty Sharp.
Board Chair, would you rather put these together or separate for approval, or?
Let's do them separate.
Separate, okay. All right, so we'll start off with the Chromebook request. We have been working directly with Catawba County Board of Commissioners to look at a replacement plan for our student Chromebooks. We've been able to negotiate and actually come up with a 5-year replacement cycle, grades 3 through 12. And when we look at taking those number of students in grades 3-12, our projected numbers, divided out by 5, we're looking at about 2,620 devices per year over that allotted time. And so the Board of Commissioners actually approved, County Commissioners actually approved the funding for this and have already sent the funding to us. So it's sitting, waiting on us to for this order. In front of you right now is a order for 2,620 Lenovo 100E Chromebooks. This includes a 4-year unlimited platinum warranty, which means any type of accidental damage is covered. Of course, hardware defects, those types of things are covered as well. I believe we also have one charger, a battery also covered over this period of time. And we also are looking at shells to put on the devices to help maintain over that 5-year period. And so the total, including tax, and I'll have to put my glasses on, my apologies. We're looking at a little over $1 million, $3,817.20. Again, that's including tax. That is a little under what the commissioners provided us. We were looking at $385 per device. And so we have just a hair under 5,000 left after this purchase, if approved. Any questions about the Chromebooks? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 617. I probably said 817. It's hard for me to see that small print. Yeah, I probably could have stood in front of the screen and yeah. It does. It does. Yeah, it's about right at around $20 per device is what we pay for those shells. And it should be line, I don't know what line item that is, but you'll see case install, but I believe it's on that. I think they included it together. It looks like they included it together in that very first price. Yep.
No further questions. I seek approval for the tariff quote for purchase of Chromebooks for $1,003,617.20 presented by Mr. Marty Sharp.
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve these Chromebooks.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise the hand. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And for learning.com on the second item, this is a program that we've had for the past 2 years, and we've benefited from the state provided funding for this for our students in grades K through 8. This is about digital skills. It includes keyboarding. Okay. It includes keyboarding, which, as many of you know, is not really taught as much within our schools. And so it also includes digital skills, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And so it's a wide range of tools that our students have access to. And again, it is provided by state funds in Tier 1 and Tier 2 counties. And we are included within those Tier 1 and Tier 2. Any questions about learning.com?
Hearing no questions, I seek approval of the learning.com rule $55,620.
I make a motion for the learning.com renewal service.
All right, thank you.
Presentation of Catawba County Board of Education 2026 meeting schedule, presented by myself. Y'all all have a copy in front of you. Nothing really big's changed here. We did move the August meeting to a week before, so it doesn't conflict with the opening day of school like it has, really, I've been on the board at least. That makes it a really, really, really long day for not only us, but also the administrators and all that come to the meeting. That meeting, if there's any further discussion on this calendar.
Were we going to have any discussion on possibly changing how we do the work session?
We can do that now, or we could approve this and maybe talk about that for next year's calendar. Go ahead and have discussions between now and next November on what we might want that to look like. I know we've talked about it, but we haven't come up. Really has been a number one seller. Change it. Suit everyone, we can go ahead and approve this, and then we can start talking sessions for the. Further discussion, I would seek a motion for approval of the Catawba County Board of Education 2026 meeting schedule.
Make the motion to approve.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Next on the agenda is appointment of nominee to fill unexpired term on Catawba County Board of Education through the nomination and ballot method. I will go ahead and read some instructions on this, so we're now to part of the agenda where we have to do what has rarely has to be done around this board table. Fill a vacancy created by the passing of one of our board members. Before we get into the vacancy filling process, I would like to ask my colleagues and those in attendance here tonight to pause for a moment of silence, thoughts and prayers for Dr. Leslie Barnett, who faithfully served our great school community many years. Let's pause to honor her momentarily. Thank you. Now, board members, as you will recall, Board Policy 2.115, unexpired term fulfillment. In North Carolina General Statute 115C-37F are our guiding authorities on filling vacancies when they arise on this board. But you also know they don't get very specific as to the steps to get there. So we have to establish what procedures we're going to before we go forward. I'll also note that we have Board Policy 2.34 that binds us as a board to follow Robert's Rules of Order when it comes to parliamentary procedure. And we know that the nomination ballot method is the preferred vacancy filling procedure, because it not only is an orderly process, but a transparent one too. To explain how this method would work, since we've already adopted this will be a pressure for us. I will first open the floor for board members to make any nominations. Upon being recognized, they will say, "I nominate whoever to fill vacancy on the board." Once everyone who chooses to make a nominations has had the opportunity to do so, I'll declare the nomination period closed. And to state the obvious, you do not have to you have to nominate anyone if you do not have anyone in mind, or if the person you would support has already been nominated. After nominations are closed, each board member will have 2 minutes to speak on the candidate, why they support them, why they're qualified. But of course, board members can also pass if they choose. Then comes the part where we proceed to public and transparent vote on each of the candidates. Voting by a show of hands for each candidate that I will call from our list of nominees. Each round of voting, you as board members, one vote for the nominee of your choosing. There are 3 nominees. For example, I would call each nominee's name and pause for a show of hands supporting that nominee. For example, all those in favor of nominee 1, please raise your hand. Now I'd do the same for nominee 2 and nominee 3. I will call the names of all nominees for that round, even if majority support is rendered for a nominee before completing the list. Lowest vote getter would be automatically eliminated. On to vote on the top 2 vote getters. A majority of members present, meaning 4 votes, would be required for the prevailing nominee to win and fill the vacancy for the remainder of Dr. Barnett's unexpired term. I should note that a tie between the final 2 candidates, which is conceivable since we currently have an even number of board members, would automatically fail us in accomplishing the task before us. So votes would either have to change one way or another, or I suppose we could table the process to a time certain in the future. So that is how the nomination and ballot process works. Not a physical paper ballot, but a ballot nevertheless. As I stated a moment ago, it is the preferred method of vacancy filling under Robert's rules. We have adopted as a board on our own policy. That being said, are there any questions or comments about what I just went over? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to adopt the nomination and ballot method for the vacancy filling process we are about to embark on?
A motion for the nomination process to move forward.
Motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, show a raise of hand. Unanimous. Vacancy filling process now established. I'll open up the floor for nominations, and I'll do this B, and then we'll move down the line all the way to Mr. Goforth. I'm going to nominate Derek Colson. Mr. Mullis.
I'm going to nominate Mr. Greg Whitener.
Ms. T.
I do not have a nomination.
Mr. Sigmund.
I pass.
I'm going to nominate
Ms. Underwood,
Mr.
I'm sorry. Ms.
Sorry.
Underwood.
I'm going to nominate Mr. Matthew Fox.
Mr. Goforth.
I pass.
Any further nominees from our board? Hearing none, I seek a motion to close nomination process.
Make a motion to close the nomination process.
I've heard a motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor show a raise of hand. Unanimous. Okay. You just want to time me, Marty, for my 2 minutes when I. It's done. Can you make it say you done? Something like that. Yes, sir. All right. I've nominated Derek Colson. Derek Colson has lived in Catawba County for 57 years, currently lives out at Lake Lookout, about a half a mile from Bunker Hill High School and Riverbend Middle School. Born and raised in Claremont, graduated from Bunker Hill in 1986. Derek and his wife Michelle have been members of Bethel Lutheran Church. Derek and Michelle have been married for 35 years and have one child. Her child is Candace Stevens, who is the STEAM teacher. Derek's daughter has 3 children, all which attend, well, 2 of them are in our schools and 1 of them will be they're of age. Derek is retired from the state of North Carolina, from the State Highway Patrol. Derek worked as a civilian with the organization. I believe he worked in the garage and then he worked in their radio shop as well. Part of the advisory board to the colonel of the Highway Patrol for over 20 years, with the last 5 years being the chairperson of that board, which served the 450 to 500 civilians statewide of the patrol in the regular meetings with upper management of the patrol. Derek was also on the board of directors for the Historical Association of Catawba County for 4 years. Currently has a full-time job since retirement and a part-time job with local businesses in the county. Derek has also volunteered time over the years to Bethel Lutheran Church, its youth groups, and local organizations in various capacities. Derek states that he has been blessed to be able to live, work, and raise his family here in Catawba County. Derek's a great guy. When I was born, my parents lived in the same duplex as my parents. Catawba County Schools.
Sorry. Tonight, I would like to nominate Greg Whitener to fulfill the unexpired term of Dr. Leslie Barnett. Mr. Whitener is a lifelong resident of Catawba County. Mr. Whitener has been married to his wife, Weatherly Whitener, for 45 years. Mr. Whitener is a graduate of St. Stephen's High School. Greg is a member of Christ Church on Springs Road. Greg is retired from Allied Industry Supply of Hickory after 28 years of service, retiring as operations manager. Greg has been a community service-oriented person. He has served as chair of the St. Stephen's Fire Department, or serves currently as the chair of the St. Stephen's Fire Department. He is also the past president and served 15 years as a coach of the St. Stephen's Optimist Club. The past few years, Greg has worked the past 2 years at Christ Church until December of 2024. And in that role at Christ Church, Greg served as serving coordinator, scheduling, and overseeing all volunteers. He was leader of the Backpack School Bash, which gave over 2,000 filled backpacks. I feel Greg cares passionately about the children of Catawba County and the directions of our school. Greg, I know, shares the belief that he wants Catawba County schools to be the best in North Carolina. I feel with his leadership, dedication, and commitment and lifetime of service he has made to our community, he will be a great fit to serve on the Catawba County Board of Education.
Tonight, I'm nominating Matthew Fox. Matthew Fox was born in Texas, raised in the town of Temple until he graduated in 1991. He enlisted in the military 2 weeks after graduation. A decorated combat medic veteran of the Afghanistan and Iraq wars, he served for 26 years in the U.S. Navy. As a Fleet Marine Force corpsman, 12 of those years were training and deploying with the Navy Special Teams out of Coronado Island and with the Marine Corps from Camp Pendleton, California. Beyond operations and multiple deployments, he served at 3 naval hospitals and outpatient clinics as a healthcare provider and at the Naval School of Health Sciences as a senior curriculum manager, academic review board coordinator, and facilitator for advanced school programs. He managed the masterclass schedule for over 100 instructors, 60 classrooms, and over 30,000 annual didactic clinical hours for 46 graduating classes. Leading the Classroom Standardization Committee and a pilot program in blended learning initiatives, his team converted volumes of curriculum into Oracle-based computer training and upgraded classroom simulation labs, improving the learning experience for students and technologies capable of delivering updated and continuing education to postgraduates and fleet commands deployed around the world. His team established the Naval School of Health Sciences, San Diego, as a leader in Navy medical education and transformation in alignment with the Chief of Naval Operations Revolution in Training. Matthew's forward thinking and ability to adapt and succeed led to numerous positions of assignment outside his normal duties at every command along his career. Upon completion of the Blended Learning Initiative, he was hand-selected to serve as the Command Master at Arms. As the sole enforcement official, he worked and trained alongside NCIS and became highly proficient in his duties for over 1,100 personnel.
Now it's time to vote, going in order of which the candidates were nominated by a show of hands. All those in favor of nominee 1, which was Derek Colson. All those in favor of Greg Wagner, show a raise of hand. That is 2. Those in favor of Matthew Fox, show a raise of hand. That is also 2. 3, I'm sorry. So it looks as if Derek Colson has been eliminated from the first round. Moving to the second round. All those in favor of nominee 2, Greg Whitener, show a raise of hand. 4. All those in favor of Matthew Fox, show a raise of hand. Like Greg Whitener has won the majority vote, will fill the unexpired term of Dr. Leslie Barnett. I seek a motion to appoint or make a motion, since he has been voted in, that Greg Whitener be able to vacancy that the remainder of Dr. Barnett's unexpired term. All those motion.
I make a motion for Greg Whitener to fill Leslie Barnett's role or seat.
All those in favor? Next, do we have reason to go into closed session?
Yeah. Yes, we do, Chairman. We were going in to protect confidential student and personnel information, attorney-client privilege, and personnel.
I seek a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion, we go into closed session.
All right, I hear a motion to go into closed session with a 5-minute break before convening in closed session. All those in favor, go raise a hand. That is unanimous to go into closed session. We'll go into closed session as soon as it's 5 minutes.